Hi, my colleague Mabel and I wanted to make this short video to let people know that in a matter of weeks my new book Touch and Go will be available for purchase. I would remind people that the proceeds from that book, all royalties, will go to charities and not to me. Not a penny will come to me. And I want to give a little bit of information, a little bit of taster of what the book covers. And it covers me becoming infected with COVID at the beginning of January, when on the 3rd of January I tested positive. Within 2 days of that, I was virtually bedridden. 2 weeks later, I was in hospital on a COVID ward, virtually unable to breathe. I was on respiratory equipment 24 hours a day, and I was not responding to all the drugs and all the treatments provided to me. I was effectively slipping away. On the 28th of January, I was put into an induced coma, and the chances that I understood of survival at that point were 2 to 1 against. And I've come to understand later that the chances were in fact worse than that. That my chances of survival were negligible. And there came points during the coma, which lasted for almost 4 weeks, there came points when my wife Glenn was telephoned to tell her to prepare for my end of life. The horrors of that can only be imagined by people that haven't experienced that, including myself. And it took me more than 2 weeks from coming home, 3 months later, coming home, to be able to read Glenn's diary about it, which is for the month of February, quoted verbatim. So all of that month is covered by her diary when I was in a coma. It tells a tale of coming out of the coma and being in a world of delusion, where although everything seemed real to me and very horrifying, I was in a number of worlds where I was trapped and beyond escape, where I'd lost my identity, where it had been taken away from me as punishment for something, where I was reliving various things that were happening during the coma, such as being turned onto my front in order to aid my breathing. This kind of thing, all of these things came into my dream worlds, and the more worlds and dreams, because dreams disappear. They disappear within moments of waking up, no matter how hard we try to hang on to them. For me, these dreams became realities, and some of them replaced 6 months of my life prior to the beginning of 2021, and it took me weeks to rationalize them away as imagination and delusion rather than reality. The book talks about the period in hospital while I was still on ICU, when I could not move off my back, going through various physio exercises that helped me to be able to stand on my feet. And I believe sincerely at some points during that not only was I not going to be able to stand on my feet, that I was still on the verge of dying. I didn't understand that I was actually getting better, because my mind would not function normally. What people told me didn't sink in. There was a period when I came out of the coma where I was absolutely paranoid and felt that I was being held captive by the doctors and nurses rather than being looked after by them. Such is the impact of this illness. After 3 months I came out of rehabilitation and hospital and came home, and since that time in April I have got progressively better, but it's always an uphill struggle and the impact remains. Over the next few weeks when the book comes out, I'll go into a lot more detail about each of the stages, because I want people to know, not just about me, but about how it affects people, the families of. And some people that see my previous videos will also know that in the past week my family lost a dear member. A very loved uncle of mine was taken by COVID, and the impact, we feel it, other people feel it. I want the people who see these videos, and especially those on the Surviving COVID, Living with COVID Facebook group, I want people to be able to talk and share, laugh and cry about their experiences. I want that to be what this particular group achieves. I also want it to achieve a certain level of information giving, so that the people in those supermarkets that are now not wearing masks, and 90% of customers going into those fairly crowded places, hopefully they will start wearing the mask, will start taking it as seriously as we did 12 months ago, 10 months ago, before we started thinking post-COVID. And we are not post-COVID. Thinking post-COVID does not make COVID go away. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.